calls a timeout here, his second of the half, 1:03 to play here in the fourth. Does he just kneel it twice and kick a field goal?
Man. Well, one timeout apiece. I believe that's what I'm seeing right now. So with an opportunity here to stop the clock one time. That's one heck of a strategy.
.103 left. Second and goal at the 3. Anna with only one timeout remaining. Hackney. Will they indeed run a play, or are they just going to try and kill clock? Newton falls down inside the 1. Inside the 2 is where they're going to spot him. And now Anna will use their final timeout. 56 seconds to play.
That was the strategy for Tommy Allison. What was it? They had like 1:30 left on the clock, and obviously just recognizing, look, I do not want to give this Coyotes defense the ball back.
56 seconds left. Newton fell down at the 2 to force Anna to use their final timeout.
They reset the clock to 1 minute.
I think because Seth Parr came running out to call timeout, and they probably decided that instead of at 57 seconds, he had the timeout called a few seconds earlier than when they actually stopped it in-house. They spot the football now inside the 2, closer to the 1, about the 1.5. You can see they're kind of splitting the difference. One minute even. It is third down, not second down. The in-house scoreboard is a play behind. It is third and goal. Walnut Grove can't elapse all of the time. Newton will score. 58 seconds left. That's what Anna will have to work with. Walnut Grove has scored 27 straight to lead the game.
And what's the strategy there, Mike, on third down, recognizing that the Coyotes can't stop the clock, still with an opportunity, look, to run down more clock, but I think that's the right decision. They are completely out of timeouts.
It comes down to, for Tommy Allison, as the extra point is up and through. It is 45-38. 58 seconds remain on the clock. Walnut Grove has scored 28 straight to lead this football game after trailing 38-17. I think what it comes down to, Heckma, is Tommy Allison had to ask himself, which scenario do I prefer? Relying on my kicker to give me the lead with about 20 seconds left and leading by 3 and giving, as we've referred to him already once tonight as Superman, Ziondre Williams, 20 seconds to go get a game-winning touchdown, or the current scenario, up 7, but 58 seconds to work with for Ziondre Williams. It's a tough decision to make. Ultimately, Allison decides to score the touchdown and give Zy Williams essentially a minute to try and match him.
No, he's not wrong. And look, that was a gamble. But, you know, here's the deal. I would much rather have the touchdown than have Ziondre Williams impact this game even further than he already has.
because there was going to have to be some time left, scoring the touchdown, I think, is the right decision. If they could have worked it all the way down to 0 and kicked as time expires, that would have changed the math for sure. But now, if you're Walnut Grove, Anna needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to beat you, or a touchdown and extra point, and they need to beat you in overtime to lose this football game.
Have we had any overtime games, Mike?
I can remember the last one.
Which is?
Anna Salina.
Anna Salina. Yes.
Went to 4 overtimes a couple of years ago.
What am I talking about?
Short kickoff. Fielded at the 19. A fair catch called for and made. It'll come out to the 25-yard line, and that is where Zyondre Williams and the Anna offense will begin this possession. Down a score. This is the first time all night that they have trailed.
This is a situation, I'm telling you, for Zyondre Williams. I'm saying to my entire offense, guys, be where I need you to be. If I have to look out and make a quick pop pass to you, get it in your hands and get out of bounds. And look at this. Right away, they come out in an empty set.
Williams, wide open near sideline. Keyshawn Miles, first down, out to the 42.
He fell in bounds. You saw him. Keyshawn is looking to try and get out of bounds, but slipped.
It was stopped at 53, 4 seconds later, 5 seconds later, 6 seconds later, they clock it. 47 seconds left in the fourth. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 41.
Play clock is ticking.
$18 on the play clock. Game clock paused after he clocked it. Williams, with 5 touchdown passes on the night, is going to need at least 6. Scanning. Fires. Incomplete. Bray Spinks had it and lost it.
Well, it took about 10 seconds off of the clock with that one play.
For those of you that missed it, Cam Newton scored the lead-taking touchdown for Walnut Grove with 58 seconds left on the clock in the fourth. 39 seconds remain now. Anna trying to respond. 59 yards away from the end zone. Up the seam, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Cormon Houston, and it's 4th down.
Boy, what a dangerous pass. Cormon Houston gets his hands on it, but boy, you've heard the saying, tips and overthrows, got to get those. And the Wildcats miss an opportunity to close the door. It's 4th down.
4th and football game. 34 seconds on the clock. If Walnut Grove makes the stop, it caps off a dramatic comeback from 21 down. Williams, pressured, escapes, still on his feet. Williams, looking downfield, heaves a prayer into double coverage, it's knocked away. Walnut Grove makes the stop, and the Wildcats are gonna win it. From 21 down, Walnut Grove comes all the way back, and they're a kneel down away from a 45-38 heart-stopping win.
Zyondre Williams again, he is trying to come up with some theatrics, how he gets out of the grass right there, but that heave, wow, what a game this has been. And I tell you what, it's going to be some tired young men tonight as they put it all on the line Got to give both of these quarterbacks a ton of credit for the way that they've dueled. Both of them.
Alec Hatcher, the junior, who wasn't supposed to play tonight because of an injury, able to gut it out and get on the football field, and he's the one who knocks it away to end it. And Hayes Hackney can take one knee and walk out of here 7-0 on the year. It's a program that has only been around for 3 seasons, but it's hard not to put that at the very top. Maybe the best win in Prosper Walnut Grove's young history, all the way back from 21 down to defeat Anna 45-38.
This was a great contest, and I tell you what, sometimes you build a game up so big and it does not live up to the hype, but tonight, oh yeah, it lived up to the hype. I brought my cough drops and tea. I was ready. So
right.
We knew we were going to have a shootout, and this one did not disappoint. Again, I've said it before, Hayes Hackney, although he is a sophomore, you could tell that young man grew up big time tonight, dealing with cramps, but when they needed him to come up big and make throws, he did exactly that. Cam Newton is just, he's just different.
Yeah.
He is just different. But can I gotta say this, do not discount this Anna Coyotes team.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
The Coyotes are for real, and Zyondre Williams is a superstar. 5 touchdown passes, 370 passing yards for Zy Williams, but he is undone by a dramatic comeback by Hayes Hackney and the Prosper Walnut Grove Wildcats. Hayes Hackney 33 of 47, 360 passing yards and a couple touchdowns. Cam Newton carried the ball 43 times tonight for 141 yards and 4 touchdowns, including the game winner in the final minute. And Walnut Grove comes all the way back for a 45-38 win here on Friday Night Football. We will be back to put a bow on this one after this here on WFAA Plus and the WFAA YouTube channel.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, DeSoto at Duncanville. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA Plus.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Y'all-itics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans. Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand. This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else. Not to brag, but just to brag a little bit. Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines. Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads. And still counting.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Thanks for downloading the W.
Here's tonight's Friday Night Football Play of the Game, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute.
There were a whole bunch of options tonight in this sensational football game, but this one here, late in the second quarter, was unbelievable. Zy Williams, Heckma, heaving it up for Michael Kennedy, and somehow Kennedy makes this catch.
It just speaks for itself. And again, you and I are looking at each other and we think Zyandre Williams is trying to throw this ball away.
Yeah.
And Michael Kennedy comes up with a catch that I'm saying is the catch of the year. The concentration to come down with this, Mike, I think is the bigger part, man. I think he jumps too early. You see him come up right here, tip it, and then on his knee with the catch. That is what play of the game is all about. And Mike Kennedy made that happen.
Michael Kennedy, 7 receptions, 161 yards, and 4 touchdowns, but it's Tommy Allison's team that comes away with the win.
I tell you what, man.
Yeah, I'll bet you that was fun tonight.
That's a cool guy to play for.
Tommy Allison's team comes back for a 45-38 win to remain perfect on the season.
And now, the Texas Day Brazil on fire player of the game.
Cameron Newton, the senior running back for the Walnut Grove Wildcats. This touchdown run late in the third quarter was the one that started the comeback for Walnut Grove. This made it 38-24. He finishes the night, Heckma, 43 carries, 141 yards, and 4 touchdown runs. And, by the way, 11 receptions for another 105 yards. He was a huge portion of the offense tonight for Walnut Grove as they come all the way back and get the win.
So you said 43 carries?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the deal. So let's go ahead and get this kid an IV right now, okay, for the cramps that he may experience. Go ahead and take that ice bath right now, young man, because that is Cam Newton minus the funny-looking hats that you see right there. Boy, this kid came out here and did his thing, man, in comparison to great names, you know, two guys that obviously carry the legacy of this game, of that name. Cam Newton, #1 at Prosper Walnut Grove, is going to carry the mantle from here on out. 43 carries? Are you kidding me? This young man, when they needed it, and they went with that jumbo package, he absolutely could not be stopped. Whether you stopped him for 1 yard, he's finding a way to fall forward each and every time. Man, this is an outstanding showing. 43 carries. That's a lot.
They ran 92 offensive plays tonight. He touched the football on 54 of them. 43 carries, the 11 receptions. 38 plays went in a different direction.
Wow.
And in fact, some of Hayes Hackney's 14 incompletions, so my math is off just a little bit. They ran 90 plays, and 54 of them went to Cameron Newton.
More than half.
Way more than half, and that's not even in consideration of the fact that Hayes Hackney had 14 incompletions. Some of those may have been Cameron Newton targets. He went absolutely bananas tonight, and all the way back comes Walnut Grove for a 45-38 win. Heckma, one of the all-time games that we have ever had here on Friday Night Football, and deservingly being interviewed after the game.
Yo, that's Ron Murray down there,
yes,
man,
it is.
interviewing him. But this is a wonderful performance. And for me, Walnut Grove, the Wildcats showed the heart of a champion. I think in the open, when you talked about them, you said, look, they're scoring 70 points a game, and we went through the schedule, and you say, look, maybe the strength of schedule those first couple of games, maybe those are kind of false numbers that you're looking at. Nah, this is a bona fide team, and I know that it's going to get real for them their next couple of matchups. But I think that all of the teams that are going to look at this tape, they're going to recognize, man, that these guys, you get them down by 21, you better keep your foot on the gas.
Down by 21 is the story of the night. Anna went in and scored to make it 38-17. Zy Williams had one of the great plays we have ever seen in the history of doing these broadcasts on a 4th and 3. Threw the ball to the right side, had it tipped up in the air, somehow caught it himself and picked up the first down, and on the very next play, hit Michael Kennedy for the 4th time on the night for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And it was a 3-touchdown lead for Anna on the road, and everything felt like it was breaking against Walnut Grove. How they, in that moment, Heckma, found the intestinal fortitude to then somehow forge this comeback is beyond me.
Yeah, and I think it was all set up by the play calling of Tommy Allison. He had a tunnel screen that he ran that went for big yardage. I mean, look, he mixed it up quite well. He went empty a lot of times, and during those periods where Hayes Hackney was cramping up, he had to get behind Cameron Newton to keep that offense rolling. It was the third downs for me. Those guys on third down, they continue to capitalize and stay on the field. And for Anna, that's the one thing that they're going to go back to, look at this in film study and recognize, man, this defense, they just were gashed. They couldn't get off the field. I don't think that Walnut Grove punted at all in the second half.
Let me double check here. We've got a couple of minutes before we have to sign off the air, so I got a little bit of time before we got to be ready for Friday Night Football fifth quarter.
Really just an all-time performance by Walnut Grove, and when you needed it the most, you made it happen.
I do not see a second half punt from Walnut Grove. However, do remember they started this second half throwing an interception.
Yes.
And then the snap that was wide of Cam Newton for a fumble to give the ball to Anna. That's what led to the touchdown that made it 38-17. Was the snap wide of Newton that went down for a fumble that was recovered by Corday Young.
And even with the turnovers, they overcame those.
Yeah.
And I think for Anna, in that situation, they could not capitalize. When they did, again, capitalizing to the clip of going up by 21, but when they were, I believe it was, they were caught in their own territory, and they just had those plays that were negative play after negative play after negative play. Then they punted.
Here you see the fumble that was really the first link in the chain of the comeback.
Yes.
This was the first link in the chain, the fumble that was recovered by Kai Beller.
And that was so early.
Gave them a short field.
Yeah, the Ace Trailer fumble. And that seemed of no consequence, because even when they scored there, that only brought it to, 14? Still an opportunity there for Anna to continue to put their foot on their neck. And
I beg your pardon. The touchdown, the Cam Newton touchdown run was what came before that fumble.
Okay.
So they responded to the Anna touchdown to make it 38-17, drove right down the field. The deep ball from Hayes Hackney to Chase Jolly got them deep into Anna territory. Newton capped it off. That was when Hackney had the cramps and went off the field for a moment, went in and scored to make it 38-24. Then the fumble, and they scored again quickly to make it 38-31, and that was what made the comeback feel
So
real.
then they were down by 7 after that.
Yes.
So down by 7, and like you said, still capping off the comeback. And from there, it just seemed like Anna's offense just went in neutral. We didn't, I mean, and it was all Zyondre Williams or nothing. And so making throws, making runs, trying to get the ball out in short areas. You had some drops by your freshmen. And like I said, after that, no one not named Zyondre Williams could make a play.
Unbelievable football game.
Yeah, man.
We will recap this one in full coming up on Friday Night Football, 5th quarter, in about 15 minutes' time on WFA+. We will try to make sense of what we saw in this football game. Ultimately, a 45-38 win for Walnut Grove. Heckma, I'll just give you I'll give you the floor one more time. Your final thoughts on just an insane football game.
Look, you knew how difficult this district is with Melissa. I saw Lucas Lovejoy last night. They beat Emerson in a nail biter, and this district really is going to come down to the last week of who's going to win it. And so a lot of tough teams, those top 4 teams in this district, very tough, and will be making noise in the playoffs. But tonight, for me, Walnut Grove made a statement tonight, down by 21. Hayes Hackney, I cannot say enough about the way that kid stood in there and battled. He overthrew the ball at times, but man, when he was able to settle his nerves and allow for the ball to come out of his hand, especially when they got down on the red zone, he was spot on.
Unbelievable performance tonight from Walnut Grove, and they come all the way back to get the win. Cameron Newton with 54 touches on the night, well over 200 total yards from scrimmage, 246 in total, and the 4 touchdown runs. His 4th and final touchdown run would be the one that would put this game away, and Walnut Grove comes all the way back. This was the touchdown that made it 38, all Hackney to Zayden Crane. Late in the 4th quarter, they come all the way back for the win and take it 45-38. The final score. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, our director Clay Marshall, our photographers tonight, Dwayne Watkins and Cody Pryor, our digital coordinators back in house, Ben Sawyers and Jay Wallace, Heckma Harrison alongside. I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for watching tonight here on Friday Night Football. In an absolute thriller, Walnut Grove gets the win, 45-38. Good night, everybody.
That is the cheer squad from Episcopal getting us started tonight. Thanks so much, ladies. Great energy right off the top. That is what we need and what we love. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Football, the fifth quarter. I am Joe Trahan, and we love to take you with us under the Friday night lights. I'm at Parish Episcopal High School, and it was a serious showdown tonight between two of the best private school teams in all of North Texas. It was a rematch of last year's state championship in TAPS. We'll get to that in a moment. Great football game. Could have been better. Really great football game for Parish. We'll get to that in a minute, but there's so much more to talk about because we've got crews throughout the area. We've got highlights for you throughout the area. One of the games that we will hit will be our Friday night football game. Mike Leslie was on the call for that one. And let me tell you, folks, he saw an absolute classic between Anna and Prosper Walnut Grove. These two teams know how to light up the scoreboard. They did it tonight for all of you who watch Friday Night Football. And you know what? Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get it to Mike Leslie because that game was that good. I just can't wait to hear more about, what these two teams were able to put on. I mean, I was watching this game. I was kind of checking in back and forth with your game, Mike. But, man, that thing was special.
There was a time tonight, Joe, where if you were watching, you might have been inclined to say, all right, I'm going to go find something else to watch. That would have been a mistake.
Wow.
This was a sensational football game that really kind of came out of nowhere late in the third quarter. You mentioned it. These two teams score a whole bunch of points. Coming into the night, Walnut Grove was averaging in excess of 60 points per game. Anna was averaging close to 42 a game. We expected there to be points tonight, and we expected a final score probably akin to what we got. But how we got there was off the charts ridiculous. Let's go ahead and show you the highlights from this one. This was a terrific football game, and it was Anna that jumped out to the early lead in this one. Up 3-0 late in the first quarter, and Zy Williams, who had 5 touchdown passes on the night and 370 passing yards, hits Michael Kennedy. It was 10-0 Anna on the road. Later into the second quarter, Williams again, this time to Keyshawn Miles for 63 yards and a touchdown. 17-7, Anna with the lead. Walnut Grove would find an answer, and it would find the answer in the form of Cameron Newton. Their stud running back, no relation to the former Heisman winner and NFL MVP, but he plays like there should be, scores to make it 17-14. Right before halftime, play of the night. Williams to Kennedy again, and look at Michael Kennedy tip this ball to himself and haul it in for the touchdown. 24-17, Anna led at halftime. In the second half, they led 38-17, but back comes Walnut Grove. The little pop pass from Hackney to Zayden Crane made it 38 all with 7 minutes left. And then in the final minute, after making another big defensive stop, Newton with his 4th touchdown run of the night, and Walnut Grove scores 28 straight points to come all the way back for a 45-38 win, and the Wildcats remain perfect on the year, 7-0 on the season, 5-0 now their record in this deepest and most difficult district in the state in 5A Division II. Joe Trahan, this team is unbelievable. They won this district a year ago in their first season in a UIL district, and they are in the catbird seat once again to repeat as district champs. It's going to come down to their game against Melissa in a couple of weeks, but a sensational comeback tonight for Tommy Allison's team.
Man, PWG, that's ridiculous. Listen, we knew, Mike, going in that both of these teams could score in bunches, and they did. They just kept going back and forth. What a fantastic ball game, I'm sure, to call. At what point did you realize, I mean, that was an instant classic, Mike. At what point did you realize it was of such?
I think the fumble from Anna after, they made it 38-17, and Prosper Walnut Grove drove right down the field fast Hayes Hackney, their superior sophomore quarterback who had 2 touchdown passes tonight himself, including the little pop pass you saw a moment ago that tied the football game. He hit a deep shot to Chase Jolly that got them inside the 20. A couple plays later, Cam Newton was in the end zone again. It was 38-24. And on, I believe, the first play of the next offensive series for Anna, Ace Traylor fumbled the football. Kai Beller recovered it for Prosper Walnut Grove, and they had 1st and 10 at the 19. And real fast, it was 38-31. Only double-checking my notes here, 1 minute and 9 seconds into the fourth quarter. That 21-point lead had become 7 real fast, about 4 minutes worth of game time. And that was where Heckma Harrison, our color commentator, and I looked at each other like, what's happening right now? It got crazy really fast, and Walnut Grove, once they had turned the tide, there was nothing Anna could do about it.
Man, what a fun watch. Listen, this is why we do what we do, folks. We hope that you're tuned in here on WFAA Plus, because it's quality stuff, and that was a quality football game. Hang tight, Mike, because I do want to check back in with you a little later. But let's come back out here to Parish Episcopal now, where this was a rematch of last year's TAPS Division I state championship game, and there was so much going into this game. I mean, many called it the regular season game of the year for private school football here in North Texas, and for good reason, because Argyle Liberty Christian won that state championship, and that snapped a 5-game win streak in the state championship for Parish Episcopal. So let's just say that the Panthers had payback on their mind when this one started. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this one, because Parish was locked in from the jump in this game. Parish already up 7 in this one, and watches Jonathan Phillips takes it himself. He keeps it, finds room around the right end. His second TD of the game makes it 14-zip, Panthers on top. Now, Liberty Christian would cut into the deficit. Warrior Quinn Murphy scrambles, keeps the play alive, and then he pops one to Cash McCourt. It's 14-7. I'm thinking, hey, we might have a game here. Not so much. Second quarter, Panthers driving and doing major damage on the ground. That's Marcus Hanish, finds a crease, makes a cut, gone. 77 yards, Panthers up 21-7 now. Parish adds to their lead in the second. Lucero goes deep to Jalen Pyle, the Michigan commit. He gets behind the defense for a 55-yard lightning bolt of a TD. Panthers take control up 28-7. And just before the half, Lucero to Siler Cook for the 21-yard TD. 21 points unanswered in that second quarter, and that was really the big deal in terms of this game, as Parish goes on to get a big win over their rival, Argyle Liberty Christian. I've got Episcopal Parish. 3, 2, 1. I've got Parish Episcopal head coach Daniel Nabokov with me now. Coach, you had your team ready to play from the outset. It was apparent. What was the mindset going into this one?
I mean, you could tell they were focused, they were ready, they wanted to get their licks back for last year, and so we put a lot into this. You know, it's fun to see as a coach the stuff you work on all week, you come out and you pull it out of the case and it works. So I mean, we felt like we were, you know, especially offensively in the first half, everything we kind of dialed up worked, but you know, in the second half kind of got a little hairy there, but we held it together.
There seemed to be an attention to detail. You know, is that what coaches just love to see, especially in a game like this against a very difficult opponent, an opponent that you got some emotional ties to as well?
Yeah, I mean, well, Coach Wooden, you know, we're friends. He does a heck of a job. I got no hard feelings or ill will towards him, but you know, our kids were definitely dialed in this week. You could tell this meant it was homecoming too. You know, who wants to go to their homecoming and lose? So I mean, I don't know what administrator picked Argyle Liberty for homecoming, but I'm like, what are we doing? Like, because nobody else available. So, but anyway, it's great to give them a win on homecoming.
Yeah, that's pretty fantastic. And speaking of, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that Logan Lucero just turned 15 years old. Coach, how do you put that young man in perspective? Because he's got it, whatever it is, he's got it.
Oh, I mean, he takes it all in good stride, but we humble him in the meetings because he's the freshman. So all the kids in there, you know, we kind of pick on him and keep him, you know, we humble him a little bit. But he's great. He's a great kid.
And then talk about some of the seniors on this team when you think about a Jalen Pyle, this kid, and how they're helping bring that freshman quarterback along and kind of showing him the ropes, and we kind of saw it all come together tonight.
Well, they're great with him. The banter they have back and forth and the rapport they all have, and Jalen's awesome. Jalen, you know, wouldn't surprise me if he was president of the United States one day. He's got that kind of charisma, you know, and that kind of, he walks into a room, he's magnetic personality. So, I mean, it's hard for Jalen not to get along with somebody. That person has to be really messed up if Jalen Pyle can't along with you. So he's great. Logan's great. Jonathan Phillips, I mean, I've never had a 2-quarterback system or heard of it working, but it works great because Logan and Jonathan are great friends. So you see that work. And Jonathan Phillips, let's not take anything away from him. He may be the best football player on this team. You know, so, I mean, you got him, Jalen, Tyler Cook, all these guys, and a freshman quarterback. So it's really neat to watch that dynamic in the meeting room as they, you know, all kind of come together. And especially after Sawyer, when he was such an alpha personality, and then you go to this, and it's kind of interesting to watch it all reset again. This is the 3rd time we've had a freshman starter quarterback, so I've seen it 3 times now.
It's amazing to watch, Coach. Thanks so much for a fun night of high school football.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Parish Episcopal, man, they were ready to play tonight. They played a great football game here tonight at Gloria H. Schneider Stadium. And we will talk more about the quarterback, Logan Lucero. He just turned 15 years old, and I promise you, he was out there spinning it tonight. We'll get to him in a moment. But first, let's check out some games from elsewhere around the area. And let's start with the Prosper Eagles taking on the McKinney Lions. Prosper gets the ball first, and they score in the first minute of the game. Braden Imhoff drops off the screen pass to Logan Thompson. He's going to take it, make a move, and then 30 yards later, it is 7-zip Prosper in front. Next Eagles possession. This time it's Bryce Robinson. He takes the handoff, and he knows what to do with it. He gets into the zone. The Eagles were up 14-zip. Prosper adds 2 more scores by the end of the first quarter, one through the air, the other this 10-yard carry by Hudson Bowman. It's 28-zip Eagles after 1. And then more of the same in the second. As Prosper continues to find the end zone, Lathan Lachelet gets his second TD of the game. The 11-yard run makes it 42-0, and the Eagles go on to win that one 59-0, the final there. Duncanville would travel just east of I-35 to take on Lancaster. Duncanville with a 7-3 lead to start the second quarter in this one when Maximus Denson calls his own number, and he's going to go 46 yards. Nice break of a tackle there. Makes another man miss, and he goes into the end zone to make it 14-3 Panthers. Still in the second quarter now, Denson goes to the air this time, hitting Zachary Turner, who breaks 1 tackle along the sideline, then another for a 35-yard Panther score, 21-3 Duncanville at the half. Duncanville up 28-3 in the third quarter, and they'll get another score from their defense. Braden Arnold picks off the Tigers' pass, and Arnold will return it 45 yards for the pick 6. It's 35-3 at that point, and Duncanville gets the win over Lancaster. The final there, 35-10. All right, back here at Parish Episcopal, as I mentioned earlier, I do want to put one player under the spotlight, and it is 15-year-old Parish Episcopal Panther quarterback Logan Lucero. What a night he had tonight, and it started early on the very first drive for the Panthers. He would actually find a wide-open Jonathan Phillips. Do we have that video, you guys? Here we go. All right, there we go. Let's take a look at it. Yes, there's that pass right over the middle as Lucero hits Jonathan Phillips, and that was just the beginning of a fantastic night for Lucero. Watch the ball placement here as he throws a perfect strike to Jalen Pyle, the Michigan commit. That's a 55-yard touchdown right there. And then this play just before the half, as they worked a great 2-minute drill, Lucero is going to hit Siler Cook as he makes a move to get up in the pocket, and then he hits him in stride. Another fantastic throw by the 15-year-old, and I got a chance to speak with him after the big victory. Joining me now, the quarterback for Parish Episcopal, Logan Lucero. Let's just talk about the mindset going into this game. I mean, you weren't on that team, but they lost the state championship last year, so how'd you approach this ball game tonight, Logan?
I mean, honestly, we knew like this game was going to have to start with the O-line. You know, and last year it didn't go as planned, and we knew there was a lot of hard feelings about that. But you know, we did our job, and we were very we were very like we did great at practice. Like we paid attention to detail, and I think there was a lot of attention, and we just had to play the game, not the occasion.
So in the second quarter, you guys scored 21 unanswered points. What did you find there? What started clicking, and what made you really start feeling it in that second quarter?
I think, honestly, it was just having time. You know, I say O-line won us this game in coaching. You know, Coach Novikov's a great coach, and, you know, he diced up some great plays, and, you know, glory be to God. Like, at the end of the day, it started with the O-line and it ended with the O-line, and I told him that, and, you know, we were able to execute.
Listen, Logan just turned 15 years old, and he absolutely put on a show tonight. How much fun is this, getting a chance to play on this team and continue to take strides forward in your development as a quarterback?
It's so fun. I mean, just to be able to play for we got a lot of seniors on this team, and to be able to, play and, execute like we did, it's a blessing, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
All right, how would you describe the feeling once the clock hit zeros tonight? What was that feeling?
I mean, it was a great feeling, but at the end of the day, 24-hour rule. We're gonna celebrate this win. It was a big win since it was homecoming, and then we got another really tough opponent in Prestonwood next week, so it's gonna be a great game.
He's 15 years old, you guys, and he sounds like a grizzled vet. He's using 24-hour rule already. Logan Lucero, we're looking for big things from you, young man. Keep going. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Go Panthers.
Jalen, you guys seemed really locked in. The attention to detail was apparent. What was your mindset going into this game tonight?
It's just another business trip. We know what we have in this locker room, and we felt like our 11 is better than their 11 any day of the week, twice on Sundays.
Tell me about Logan Lucero. I mean, I can't wrap my head around the fact that he just turned 15 years old, and he's out here slinging it like he was tonight. What are some of those special – listen, we know he's a freshman. You can't be too nice, right? But what are some of the special factors about that young man?
He's just a leader. As soon as he got here, kids, grouped around him. He's seen as a leader in the locker room, even though he's so young. And he's just a great person off the field, too. It's somebody that we can all hang out with and all make jokes with. And he's just one of those kids that, next couple of years, he's going to be a 5-star, first overall pick, man. Like, that's the confidence I have in this kid, and he's just proven me right every single day.
And the final thing, when the clock hit zeros tonight, what was that feeling like, especially after what you went through last year in that state championship game against that team?
It meant a lot because everybody was counting us out. But that just made it even better because we knew what we had in our locker room, like I said before. And sitting that clock hit zero, just everything that I've ever worked for, everything that we worked for in the summer, came true. And that's with every game. So we put so much work and hard effort and, toughness and mental toughness every day. Like, seeing that clock hit zero every game with us with a W, like, that's just amazing. You can't replicate that feeling.
Jalen Powell, that receiver, is headed to Michigan, but remember the name, Logan Lucero. He just turned 15 years old, and I still can't believe it. All right, we got more highlights to get to, so let's get you right there. In fact, we're going to go to the big stadium in Mesquite as Mesquite Horn was hosting DeSoto at Mesquite Memorial. DeSoto opens the scoring in this one. It's Eagles quarterback Legend Howell. What a great name, finding Booby Feaster, another great name, who does the rest on this 49-yard scoring pass for a 7-zip DeSoto lead. The Eagles were up 21-zip after one, but Horn finds the end zone in the second quarter when Cameron Williams finds daylight. Williams is going to go 31 yards to the house. Horn rallies to make it 29-13 at the half. But DeSoto adds to its lead in the third quarter with a couple of big plays, including this 96-yard kickoff return. Now, it takes some time to develop, but that's Sherrod Baker. He is going the distance for the Eagles. That's going to make it 43-16 as he beats that last defender and gets into the zone. Then DeSoto just continues to pour it on early in the fourth. Sherrod Baker again, this time on the receiving end of a Legend Howell pass for a 54-yard Eagles score as DeSoto wins it 57-30. Wow, what a fun night of highlights, what a great night of high school football. But when you get under the Friday night lights, it's not just about football. We like to make sure we include the cheerleaders, and we also like to include the band. So it's that time. Let's strike up the band. For about 20 more seconds. There you go, the Parish Episcopal drum line there, getting it done. Fun night all around, and did they ever have a fun night in this 56-28 victory by their school. All right, let's bring Mike Leslie back in before we get out of here, because we had so much fun on Friday Night Football tonight. Mike, I got to know what's up next. Who you got next week?
Next week should be a lot of fun. Two really good football teams in 5A Division I, and two teams we have never spotlighted before, which makes it fun, too, because we'll get a chance to go see two towns that we don't ordinarily see. West Mesquite and Carrollton Creekview. Creekview undefeated on the year. West Mesquite 6-1 on the year. Both teams undefeated in District 2 of the top 3, maybe the top 2 teams within that district. Should be a really fun one next week on Friday Night Football, and a game that I'm very intrigued to see play out because, again, it's teams that we haven't seen normally, and it's two teams that are both big time on the come up lately, very recently kind of bursting on the scene. They get their moment next week.
That sounds great. Great stuff by you. Great call. Great fun. Great game. Wow. Anna, Prosper Walnut Grove just put on a show for us. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here because, listen, that's what we do here on WFAA Plus. We give you high school football on Friday nights. It's a ton of fun. We hope you enjoyed it. It was certainly fun to share it with you, and we'll see you here next Friday night at 11:40 on WFAA Plus. I'm Joe Trahan. Have a great football weekend, everyone. Enjoy.